Welcome to Season 2 of Why Your Business is Invisible Online. This season, we focus on the dramatic change artificial intelligence is having on your online visibility. Joining me are my two co-hosts, and here they are.
Hi, this is Jim Filatico. I'm currently obsessed with planning my next beach adventure for my whole family.
Hi, I'm Kelly Biggs. We're talking about AI this season. I'm wondering, can I get an AI agent to clean my house?
And I'm your host, John Manatis, still glued to my guitar, but with my new band planning our next tour. Okay, we're back for another amazing episode at Are You Invisible Online. Really looking forward to this one. Today is all about my favorite topic, which is content. And I love it because we always associate content with royalty. So content is still king. How it's changed, what still works, and what doesn't anymore. That's what this episode is really all about.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
John, wait. Well, so before we start that, I want to just kind of go back. I wanted to ask you something. Didn't you say that your band's working on a few new songs?
Oh yeah. My
What's
band.
the latest there? Yeah.
Well, I love what I do with my guitar, guys. As you guys know, I'm pretty excited about this one. We're working on a charity event for my old high school, which I loved high school. I don't know about you guys, but I loved my high school years.
Huh.
And
I feel that way about college. I don't know about high school.
Yeah, college was great too, but too much work. Whereas high school was a lot more fun than work.
You must have worked in college? You didn't go to the SEC.
Or the Big Ten.
Right.
Well, yeah, U of T, University of Toronto was. Those are tough years. Put it this way, I think I went through it twice because I used to record all my sessions with the profs. They didn't have to go and rewrite them because they wouldn't pick questions from our textbooks. They would actually be questions from their actual lectures. So I wasn't. You would see 20 tape recorders at the front of the stage. At least 20 to 50 tape recorders. That's how bad it was. But anyway, music-wise, yes, I am excited. For the first time ever, we're doing a really eclectic set. The singer he wants to do Van Morrison's Moondance, which is a standard actually, but you'd never get anybody asking us ever to play those kind of songs. So it's all cover songs. I'm also excited about he wants to sing Rod Stewart's Hot Legs, so that should be fun. And then the other song we're doing is a really tough one. Steely Dan is known as being a difficult band to try to cover because of not only all the instruments, but everybody on their instruments in Steely Dan. They're all studio musicians. They're geniuses, basically. And so that one's a real challenge. And we're doing a really fun song called, I don't know if you guys know it, but it's Boz Scaggs has a song called Lido. It's the Lido Shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing Lido as well. So yeah, I've never done a set like this. It's always, typical top 40s. These songs are a bit more obscure. And for the first time ever, my brother, who can be a real pain sometimes because he learns his parts like in 10 minutes. It's like it comes so naturally to him.
What instrument does he play?
He's the drummer. So he's drummers. He doesn't have to learn notes, like musical notes and attach them together. But
a little unfair advantage there.
Yeah. And then he goes and, he says, what's taking you guys so long? I'm going to go down and make a sandwich. And so this time, though, it's different. Like the Lido Shuffle, the beat is tricky. Moondance, it's like playing jazz drums. It's a lot more freestyle jazz. He's not used to that. So it's fun to see him struggle a little bit for a change. Yeah, he's not making as many sandwiches, that's for sure, this time around. Anyway,
I love that. It's like the creative process in action.
We may have to crash the concert.
Yeah, you know what? I wish if you guys were up here, it would be a blast. Yeah, we only got 4 songs on the set because there's a lot of guys that want to play for this charity event. But we like sitting back and just listen to the other guys too. There's some really really cool stuff that comes up. Anyway, it'll be a fun night. Still got another month to learn the songs, so looking forward to it. So let's get back to content, guys.
Well, that is content.
Yeah,
That is content. Yeah, you know what? That is about a lot of the theme of what we're talking about is creativity, and that's what my plane is all about. But also what we're going to be talking about today. Content has gotten a lot more interesting because of AI. The impact of AI has been huge, and that's why I'm really looking forward to talking about all the aspects that have impacted the way we approach content now in order to get found. I feel that content definitely has to, you guys, me, we all have to work a lot harder now to get found. Traditional SEO had certain rules that we were comfortable with. AI is a bit of a curveball now. We had already adjusted to having our content everywhere. I think we all did a pretty good job of having our content, on Yelp or on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, depending on who our target was. But now with AI, and you want to be found now on ChatGPT, you want to be found on Claude, you want to be found on Perplexity, another curveball that we have to deal with. So that's what this is all about, helping our listeners and their businesses get found with all of the changes that have happened. So we have a lot of questions to cover. I have a lot of things I want to ask you guys. So why don't we just dive right into it and let's see where it goes. Jim, I'm going to start with you. I know that you don't believe content is dead, but what do businesses get wrong when they treat content just like a simple box to check? I got to get a blog done, I got to mail it in, basically. A lot of that maybe is because of traditional SEO being about a set of rules. Now we have a whole bunch of new things we need to do to make it valid and to make it potent going forward.
Businesses, what they do is they look at as just checking a box, and so they're not really looking back at what their strategy is. They need to make sure that the strategy flows all the way down to the content that they're doing on their websites and wherever else they're using content. So it's more about quantity versus quality, and it's not really focused. So it's a generic blog, it's generic content that isn't focused on their audience, right? Their personas that they want to go to and excite. It's just generic. And when they do that, it just doesn't register. It doesn't resonate with them. The other thing is they don't realize that they can repurpose content. They can move it into social media and part of their email campaigns and all those kind of things. And when they measure more of the vanity metrics, right? How many impressions and that kind of thing. Right. What's important is how much engagement they're getting, how many leads and conversions. So all those things kind of add up to, well, we're not getting any results, so why do it, right? And that's not the right thing. You have to have that strategy in place first, to really focus. And then once you do that, then it works. The last thing I'll say is they don't realize that sometimes it takes time to get some traction, right? Yeah. And so they'll post a blog, they're not getting enough they're not getting enough engagement, and then they move on to the next one. Yeah. Well, maybe it takes a little bit, and once it does, if you stop, if you don't repurpose, if you don't add to it, if you don't enhance it, then of course it's going to die. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that if this is something that is resonating, then use it again and make sure that you kind of lean into it as opposed to just checking the box. Okay, I did a blog this month. Yeah. I wrote it to nobody. It had no distinct content. But it's nobody. Done. Right?
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Hey, there's a couple of things that you said there that were really important. And I just want to, your thought about not just writing a blog just to write a blog. Right. I think time, and then you mentioned time. I think time on the back end and front end are important. Yep. I think more than ever, we're in a point of where this could be. You can be a quick mover if you have an original thought or you're super dialed in to who you're trying to talk to. Your content will resonate straight away with the right person. If you're willing to lean in, what I see a lot of people do, I don't know if you see this, It's like when you're like, who do you want to talk to? And they want to talk to everybody. That will not work anymore.
Right.
Really won't work anymore. You have, even if you say you talk to everybody, okay, let's try to put those in segments and buckets. And this month, talk to this one person.
Right.
I think you're going to see more traction that way. But I'm excited about the fact that if you can add value to that specific person, they're going to call you, and conversion and getting leads are going to be a little more easy and take a little less patience, I think, on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah, very,
absolutely.
very true.
Yeah. I mean, that is exciting. Now it really is about your target, understanding your target market and catering to them even more so than ever before. So that's great news, actually. One of the things I get hit with often is I get the odd client that says, they're starting to do well with content, and then they'll say, well, we should just do more. They think it's about quantity. Let's flood the zone with posts and whatnot. They get all excited and stuff. But is the issue really quantity? Or is it that sometimes perhaps your content maybe is not up to date? It might not be as relevant. You just talked about targeting to the actual personas that you've spent a lot of time defining. Is it too generic, et cetera? So can you elaborate a little bit about maybe where our content strategy has to go today?
Yeah. So I think that people looking at quantity and they're doing quantity based, I think it happens more frequently than we want it to happen anyway. Where I especially see this is like in B2B type businesses. I feel like content gets treated like a project or a due date, and it's not really like just embedded in your whole marketing process, right? So what I mean by that is pages might get written once, like Jim was talking about, and then we just kind of forget about them, rather than say, what I like to do is kind of a look back in content that I've had. And so what I mean by that is we wrote this post thinking that we were going to hit for these keywords. So when you're doing your monthly review, what I like to look at is, for these keywords, what URLs are showing up and what aren't. Am I cannibalizing my own content? Is there a way to combine this or combine that? Is there a way to refer back? But the what here is content quantity is not the issue. It's like Jim said, it's quantity, is content quality above everything.
So when your content goes a bit stale, let's say it's stale, old links, outdated references, and so forth, what's sort of the ripple effect on things like trust, on your SEO results, on what I said earlier, on your AI discovery, being discovered on AI? Can you elaborate a bit on that, Kelly?
Yeah, well, let's walk through what this looks like, right? So somebody is navigating the web and they end up on your website for whatever reason. And they get there, and what you're telling them is outdated. You're referencing, it's a good example, you start referencing our COVID policies. That screams that you're out of business, right? And so what are you going to do? You're like, this isn't useful. It's not adding any value. So if it even got served, which in this scenario we're saying it did, I'm going to bounce out, right? But more importantly than that, I'm going to say for AI, it's about signals. So you referencing that is signaling to them that you're out of date. And so that the way that the machine is trained, they're going to skip you. Yeah, like your content is just not going to be served up.
Yeah. Jimmy, what do you do to keep your content fresh?
Well, you want to make sure that it's relevant to, like Kelly's saying, to the time, or you want to make it as timeliness as possible. And one of the things that I see is with manufacturers is that especially if they don't sell direct, they sell through distribution or big boxes. They don't see the need to have that content and update that content. But when an end user wants to buy your brand and they go to your website to check out that brand and see what kind of information they have, should I buy this product over the next product? If you haven't updated your website and it's old and it's not, doing what it's supposed to do, it looks bad against your brand. Mm-hmm. And so they may go to a different brand based on that. And that's what, past life in corporate, that's happened a lot. Mm-hmm. And I still see it today where, again, people check the box, website's done, don't really need to blog. I have content on the website, but it's not updated. And so it just doesn't resonate with the people that are looking today. It's more important to have that when you freshen your content, when you have fresh content, that builds your authority. It helps AI find you when it's updated. Mm-hmm. And it helps you go be stronger against your competition. The more you engage with your website, with your content, the more both Google and AI search say these guys are in business, they have expertise, they have authority, I'm going to serve them up.
Do you guys comb through old blog numbers and see the ones that were most popular? And then basically say, this is the kind of thing you could refresh almost every year. That topic is relevant annually. It just needs to be current because things have changed.
Yeah, there's a couple that you can do. There's some evergreen content.
Okay, there you go.
Where it doesn't matter. This isn't going to change. We're not creating. We're not a creative type of. We're not innovative necessarily. Mm-hmm. Like that. Yes. Some businesses are exactly like that. It's just not going to change. Where I see there's seasonality in other places where it's like in tax. It's interesting. We're debating this thought of, do we archive, like every tax season, do we archive what happened last year? And we decided no, because there are people who are late filers, right?
Oops.
Yeah. And so, and then also that might create some new content, right? What happens if I haven't filed my taxes in 3 years? Now that's hard because we got to figure out what year you're in. And so things like that. But it's just being thoughtful about, is this content, it's just being honest, like this is being served up. Is this content relevant today? And I think you should, I don't know, Jim, if you do this, have a natural, after this period of time, these should just go ahead and be archived.
Yeah, it's hard, like you said, with accounting firms. You probably want to keep it on for a few years. But then afterwards, if it doesn't have value, it just looks like you're not updating your website. Now, if you continue to add new, obviously that helps. But yeah, I agree with you. After a certain period of time, you have to let it go. But it's important, though, and especially now, we do a hell of a lot more blogging for our accounting firms from January through 1st of April than we do almost the rest of the year, because there's so much information coming out. Hey, before you get your taxes done, especially with business taxes, make sure this, make sure that, this rule changed. And there's been so many things that change that helps you build your authority. And, if a client of one of these accounting firms doesn't do something that they need to do based on what they read in a blog, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? That's probably the last you're going to be doing those taxes. So you have to make sure you stay top of mind and get that information out there. So yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Why Your Business is Invisible Online. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do us a favor and subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple. Be sure to share it with other business owners who might find it helpful. If you want to dig deeper, contact us at ruinvisibleonline.com. That's capital letter R, capital letter U, followed by invisibleonline.com. Or message us on our LinkedIn business profile with the same title, Are You Invisible Online? The information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and may or may not reflect the official policy or position of WSI Corporate. Always consult a qualified digital marketing expert before making significant changes to your online strategy. Until next time, keep connecting with the people who matter most to your business and join us for our next episode.